And I guess I'm just gonna hit launch. It looks like I'll probably unlock things later. For anyone joining us on YouTube, hi, I'm Mah Dry Bread. I got Cromulent Archer with me, and
Hello.
I've never played this before, but he has, so I'm joining his file. I don't know if I'm gonna call this a first look or what, or if it's gonna be a Let's Play series, or if it's a stream, or if it's casual. I don't know what this is gonna be, but I'm actually really excited because this game looks cool, and I'm really excited to make thumbnails of it. And that sounds like the nerdiest, most YouTuber thing in the world, but I've been experimenting with hue and saturation a lot in Photoshop, and I think this game will give me good material to work with. If that's not the most boring intro you've ever heard to a video, hello and welcome to Mah Dry Bread gameplay and streams.
Trying to remember. Oh, there it is. And so.
Oh, how did you wave at me? What did I press?
That's number 2. 1, 2, 3. I think there's several. The number keys do different emotes.
Where's the Fable 1 air hump button?
That one?
That's not good enough. You ever played Fable 1, Fable the Lost Chapters?
No, I never did play Fable.
Oh, it's okay. It was the only good one.
Yeah.
Fable 3 was a disaster. All right.
All right. So, as you may notice, you have no heads-up display really of any kind.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually kind of weird.
So if you press E, it brings out your little gun here.
Vacuum?
It's like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Q
Let's
will
kill nature.
Q will bring up your backpack. So you've got these slots that you stuff goes into, like when you fill up your
research catalog.
Yeah, and then there's the research catalog that you can also pull up. You can either click on it or you can pull it up with tab. And so we'll have to
tab. Okay.
We'll have to get that figured out. And as you collect stuff, it eventually goes to your backpack when it fills up. I'm trying to get a full stack here so you can see.
Okay. That is fascinating. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, it's nice to have the minimalist approach. It sometimes gets a little annoying where you're like, I just want to do something. Stop. Show me what I need to do. And I hit the wrong keys a lot. But so you need to worry about your oxygen, which is the blue bar at the top of your backpack.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's quite low.
Yep.
I should take care of that.
And so
so it refills just by coming back here. Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna make tether lines, but we don't have the equipment. If you look at the thing at the very bottom of your backpack, you can use the side to sides, and you'll find tether bundles.
Okay. Oh, this like cycles through things. Okay.
Yeah. And so we need compound for tether bundles, which is, if I remember correctly, is this gray blobby stuff over here.
The bubbles? Huh. Okay. I feel like wrapping my head around the kind of UI is gonna be the weirdest thing early.
Yeah, I hit the wrong keys a lot. I still bring up the research thing when I want to bring up want to bring up my backpack a lot of the time. And so when you want to make a tether bundle, you just open your backpack and the green button in the middle will let you create it there. And I'll start
I'm moving. Oh, that was weird. I was moving really slow for a second there.
I'll start a tether line here. Why isn't that? There it goes. Come on. I need you to connect to the base. Why are you not connecting to the base?
So, do we need to generate oxygen, or does the shelter always generate it?
The shelter always generates it because there's a oxygenator on the shelter, I believe.
Okay.
I just don't understand. Usually the shelter is a tether line, and it's not letting me tether line off of it for some reason.
I'm allowed to go in the shelter. What's the point of that?
That's how you save the game.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. By the way, for everybody watching the live chat right now, since we're streaming this, let me just drop this link for you guys again. If somebody in the chat could just occasionally post that link, I'd appreciate it. That's the multi-Twitch link for if you want to watch both of us at the same time. We're probably going to be near each other a lot, so it's not super useful to see both streams, but you'll be able to participate in both chats really easily that way.
All right, so I'm trying to remember how this... I feel like I didn't have this tether issue last time, but I'm trying to figure out how to fix it now. Need to put an oxygenator in the shelter. Or you get... Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. If you come over here to the launch pad, there's a startup pack.
Ooh, landing pad.
Yeah, the oxygenator is the thing we're missing here. So the stuff comes down in these, like, things, and then they expand like that.
Okay.
And then this goes over here.
Chat's mad at me for calling Fable 2 bad again. They always get mad at me for that, because I say that the only good Fable game was Fable The Lost Chapters, and it's a fantastic video game. And Fable 2 was bad, and Fable 3 was absolutely atrocious. A lot of people fight me on that and say Fable 3 is atrocious, but Fable 2 was okay.
Yeah.
Okay is the most I'll give Fable 2. Don't you come at me, Hernandez Punch Dick. Fable 2 is good. Stop lying to the chat. Aiden Zoom? Sorry, I'm fighting with the chat about Fable 2.
So you can pick stuff up by clicking on it and see. And then the way that you actually build the base out is if you look at the base, there's like these cables that come off of it. And so and once you're holding something, also C and V lets you rotate it in this place.
C and V, what weird buttons to do for that? Okay.
So
I would have thought Q and E.
Well, Q and E are used for other things already.
Oh, right. So I'm just thinking like city builder games.
Yeah.
It's either that or like left and right triangle bracket, because what the fuck is that holdover all about from like the Pharaoh days and shit?
Yeah, the farthest away from WASD as you can get.
Yeah. So make it as inconvenient as possible.
So this is the printer, the medium printer you get with the starting group here. We can make the large platform A, the research chamber, large printer, and then that's all we can do right now until we research other stuff. But basically,
what does a platform do?
It's like this platform that I put like this. This is a platform.
Okay, okay. So it's just to put structures on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should probably do at least a little bit of just random resource gathering for a bit. If you've made a tether bundle, which it doesn't look like you have, looking at your backpack.
No, I have not. Let me make that right now. Generate beacon. Tether bundle.
So you just, when you have a tether bundle and you want to continue dropping them, the letter T just drops tethers as you walk along.
Okay.
So they go slightly further than when you're, just to give you a perspective, they will go slightly further than your disconnection point. So like if I walk to here, I'm disconnected, right? But if I drop a tether, the tether reaches that far.
Oh, so that's how I know when to hit T?
Yeah, so as soon as you disconnect, hit T. And it has a little bit of wiggle room so that you...
Alright, I'm trying to get these things over here. They look interesting.
Yeah, it's just organics.
Oh. Well, I thought it was going to be cool.
So there's these things over here I can show you real quick that are kind of cool.
Sorry, just the chat again. Chat falls into civil war over Fable being good or bad. What have you done, Mah Dry Bread?
So these little things are research samples. And you just hold down F to collect them.
Okay. Oh, I got an achievement for that.
And these things will actually regrow if you give them time. If you see, there's also bigger research samples that we need the research chamber in order to process. If you look up the hill a little bit, there's a thing in the crux of a tree. It's right here. I just picked it up.
Yes.
That's a research sample that we take back to the chamber and research.
Okay.
And then
it's big.
And where you are on the map makes a difference in how much research things are worth. So like,
I'm guessing like more dangerous or distant places are worth more.
Like, well, underground basically. The closer you get to the center of the planet, basically.
So is there a goal, or is it just keep progressing?
That's, as far as I can tell, it's just keep progressing as long as you want.
Okay. Is there any danger?
Laura, I think we have shared research points. I don't know that for a fact though. Let's find out actually. How many bytes? Open your tab to open your research screen.
Okay.
How many bytes are you showing?
112.
All right, so we have a shared number.
Good.
You asked a question right before I said that, and I didn't hear what it was.
Is there any danger?
On this planet, the only danger is some trees that are dangerous. Like, they're poisonous when you break them, and there's like...
Okay, I was gonna say, tree, maybe you knock it over, it falls on you, you're too stupid to live.
And there's like some stuff that'll sort of shoot spines out of itself when you get too close to it. It's a pretty relatively chill game, so there's not that much. Your biggest threat's going to be falling to your death. or running out of
Okay.
oxygen.
Okay.
Um,
We should probably make something to research this fern.
yeah. So let's see. What do we need for the research chamber? We need 2 compound and 1 resin. So that's what we have up right now.
Get that out
So
of the way.
if you just click on these things, if you have it in your backpack, it'll add them to the thing, the
Okay.
little shadows. But we need resin, which is this yellow stuff over here,
Okay.
which I didn't actually drop my tether line in the right place.
Yay! Oh, I got one.
This is a much nicer place to land than when I landed in the game I have been playing on stream. It's like super not cavernous. Like there's a bunch of canyons everywhere, and so it's like I keep accidentally falling down into the ground and dying, which is not so great.
Okay, how do I tell this to actually print? Oh, there's the button. I was gonna say, there we go. I got it actually printing the thing now.
Craterous, yeah.
I keep glancing over at the chat and I'm
Well, yeah.
so confused.
One of the people in my chat for talking about the dangers here said death by gravity, suffocation by chasm.
Retro says you basically just described William Regal versus Big Show. I'm trying to... Oh! The time you hit him with the brass knuckles and Big Show fell on it. Okay, I get your wrestling reference. Sorry, that was a really obscure wrestling reference he just made.
Yeah, I know nothing about wrestling, so goes over my head.
I am going to force you to watch wrestling at some point in your life because I love it so much.
I don't have anything against wrestling. It's just never been
There you
something
go.
that's really gotten...
That's the thing, is everybody thinks, like, they're like, oh, I think I know what it is. And then they watch and they're like, this is so much cooler than I thought it was. It's live-action anime.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's good live-action anime. That's what wrestling is. It's wonderful.
So one of the things you'll want to make first, you can see this thing keeps stopping, and that's because we're running low on power. That's why it kept sort of holding. One of the things you'll want to make in your like little printer that you have in the bottom of your thing, it's not going to do anything until we put it on a platform.
Oh,
I think we need a large platform for it.
yeah, I was gonna say it looks a little small.
In your little printer that's built into your backpack.
I need another resin. I'll go get it. Oh shit! I don't see where I can get any resin. What was it again? Yellow thing?
Yeah, that same place where we were has more. It's just not visible from the surface anymore because we've.
Draw distance is odd. Okay.
Well, it's not really the draw distance. It's just that everything's underground at this point.
Oh, really? Is it not these things over here? Or are those organic?
No, it's this. See the like little yellow pipes sticking out of the ground here.
Oh, those. Okay.
So one of the things you'll want to make with your little printer that's built into your suit is a canister, which you should be able to do already. Uses resin. It allows you to what am I trying to say? To store dirt, basically, which allows you to do the more advanced versions of some of the stuff that your little terraforming tool can do.
Okay. Whoop, didn't mean to pick that up.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
And I've got 2 resin. Yes. How do I... Oh, I'm standing in the way.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right,
Okay,
so
it's making the platform.
So I've already built myself a canister, which allows us to do this thing. Like, if you watch, I can now flatten out the terrain. Now, we're in a fairly flat place, so it doesn't really matter. But this is, like, learning to flatten terrain was one of the best things my chat taught me how to do, because it makes life a lot easier, especially when we start working underground.
You know what, Pinkabuna has a good point there. Wrestling can't be a live-action anime because there's never been an episode of the characters learning how to drive. Boy howdy, do I want to watch John Cena learn how to drive instead of wrestle. Okay, here we go. F to unpack. Okay.
Move this out of the way.
And I gotta grab a cable from one of the.
Also, the cables come off with the other things, so you can.
Oh, okay.
You can actually chain them out away from the structure.
Thanks for following Ghost later. Welcome to the flock. Hope you enjoy the stream. Okay, let's put this on top of that. And I guess I can just tell it to research.
Yep, and it'll
And
take
I
it
got
a
an
while.
achievement.
We don't have a lot of power right now, so it's going to take it a while to do it.
Okay. If I've learned anything from Factorio, it's that power outages suck and have a horrible cascading effect.
I was flattening out this area around us so that we can, as our base expands, we got a nice flat surface to work on.
That's probably a smart idea. I am going to familiarize myself with things I can make.
Yeah, I would recommend a canister relatively quickly so that you can store dirt, because you can't
Yeah.
flatten or build up until you can store dirt, because that.
So it was another. I need a piece of resin for that, right?
Yeah, here I have some. You can have.
Oh, thank you. I will make that right now, I believe. Where is the thing?
If you just shift click on it, it goes straight into your backpack without having to put it on a.
Whoop. I apparently do not have what I need. I just picked up the... I didn't pick up the resin. I had to click it on myself. I'm a genius. Okay, I'm making a canister. There we go. I have a canister now. Beautiful.
Cool. So now if you look at your the circle that shows up where your sucking in thing goes,
Yep.
there's like a second blue line that will fill up around the outside that shows how much your canister is full.
Oh, okay. Let me just...
Also, you can look at the canister itself, and it's got like a second white circle around it that fills up as it fills up.
Okay. I will go back to where that resin was and see if I can get any more, because I figure that's something we're going to need more of at some point. There we go.
Yeah, and my chat gives me a hard time because I make a mess of the base. It's like literally just stuff lying everywhere because I'm not very organized.
I don't know how you can not make a mess of everything. Just like from what little basically mining I'm doing for this resin, I could see you really fucking up the world easily. It's probably pretty hard to have a nice looking planet after you're done with it.
Well, it's more the fact that like the base when I make the bases, like I end up leaving piles of the resources all over the place because they fill up your backpack and then you don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
So then you take them off and just leave them in piles.
Can you like make a storage chest for them?
You can make little like storage things, yeah, but they're you have to invest resources to do it. So then I get lazy and I just don't feel like doing it.
So
When I'm in a hurry to go do something else.
Is a beacon something that pings us to a location so we can find it later?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Which we'll probably need. We should probably actually go wander and explore while this thing is researching for a bit.
Yeah, why not?
We need to. Well, at some point we'll need to make like, what am I trying to say? Like vehicles that make traveling around a lot easier.
Yeah, vehicles sound like a good idea. I'm guessing we have to research that.
Yeah, it's one of the research things.
I like how this thing fell over. Let me just stick it back up. There we go. All right.
If
yeah,
we're
I wanna
lucky, we
explore
can
up here. It's
find
different looking.
one of the. Whoops. There's 6. I think it's 6. 6 of these like monument things around the planet that you have to power up to have some special stuff happen. So hopefully we'll find one of those relatively close by. They usually, I think, start you close to one. That could be
If
wrong.
by special stuff you mean achievements, then I'm in.
I think there's an achievement for it. I don't really remember.
I got an achievement for the beginning loading screen of the game. As soon as I hit join lobby, I got an achievement. I'm going to check what that achievement was. I'm curious.
I got one as
That
soon as you
achievement
joined as a multiplayer game.
Okay, yeah, host or join multiplayer game session. That's my first achievement.
Somebody in my chat says, giant purple glow fucks is the description he gave of the things that we're looking for.
Yeah, let's find those.
I've spent...
tree, look out.
It's easy to get lost on this game, and so I've
I'd
spent...
imagine.
I spent entire sessions just driving around looking for stuff.
That's probably why they added the oxygen tethering as an early game way of not getting lost. Because you can just follow it back to base.
Yeah. But when you start driving places, it becomes much harder. Because...
We might want to put a beacon back at base.
The base will show a beacon of its own on its.
Okay.
I think we're far enough away. We should be able to see it. I guess maybe it's not. But yeah, it might not be a bad idea to put a second one there just in case. So what am I building? I've got some other resource here I'm gathering, and I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's ammonium.
Oh,
That'll be useful when we decide to fly away.
Yeah, I'm kind of just looking around, seeing what I see. Oh, research sample. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, anytime you see those, you need to grab those, because...
Yeah, there we go. We haven't done any research yet, have we?
Not yet.
Oop. You slide around a lot in this.
Yeah, it's actually really fun once you get... when you're starting to build... Like this, see this... Sorry, I'm changing topics real quick. See this red plant?
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that will hurt you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when you start building mines, those are... It's fun to build them at an angle so that you can just slide down them as you're heading down into them. What am I looking for here? I was going to build something. Oh, I need more tethers. That's what I was going to get. So there's something like, I want to say 6 planets, other planets to visit, that are, each one is a little bit more hostile than the one before it, as you can imagine.
Okay. I was going to say, like, do you always start on the same planet when you start a new file?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Okay. My inventory's getting pretty loaded up.
Yeah, I should go check on the research in a second, too. Somebody in my chat says, yes, we always start on this planet.
Okay. Sophia is
but the
theorizing as to what kind of supervillain I would be if I were a supervillain. I don't think I'd make a very good supervillain. Too many morals.
Yeah, those dang morals always getting in the way.
Yeah. I'm really good at killing kids, but that's only in Crusader Kings 2. So it's not really applicable to real life. I mean, unless I can have my Spy Master do it in real life, then there we go.
Also, when the kid doesn't actually have any real parents or anybody to feel bad about it.
Yeah. Especially when I'm their regent. That makes it really easy. Except for episode 2 of Crusader Kings 2, my Asterius playthrough, where we had about a 700% murder chance on some kid and failed 6 times in a row. I don't know what was happening there, because I convinced his regent to help me with the murder plot, and his regent was also his spy master. So you'd think the kid would die pretty easily.
Turns out that
we
kid...
just kept failing.
That kid? Childhood Rasputin.
It's pretty incredible. Like, our percent chance of killing him was so high that every time we failed an attempt, less than 3 days later, it would do the plot again to kill him. And so in about a month, we tried to kill him 6 times. And we just kept failing. I don't know what my spy master was doing. Like, they just kept trying to push him off the castle walls, and it just didn't work. He was like 10.
Got a tunnel.
Just fucking overhand the kid. Jesus. Oh, let me tether. This looks really cool.
Yeah, going underground's fun. I was wondering if you wanted to focus on going underground or going to other planets. Because we can do either.
I mean, we can do both.
I've mostly been doing. I don't have any. Oh, I do have a little bit more component.
Oh, this is a dead end.
Yeah. I've been mostly doing underground stuff. In my other, trying to get to the center of the planet. There's some really interesting things that happen with gravity once you start getting close to the bottom of the planet. Like, this game has actual spherical gravity.
That's cool.
Built for these planets. So, like, I was digging straight down as much as I could manage, and suddenly I was going up, and I was like, wait, what's going on? And it turns out...
That's actually really cool.
It turns out that I had dug, like a tangent line across the planet, and so I was starting to head up again.
This is the best Dwarf Fortress knockoff I've ever played.
I'm not really sure, Bill.
And I'm surprised how many people are coming to my stream right now for this game. I wasn't
We're just giving it a try this
popular.
time, but we'll see.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, getting a lot of extra audience than usual, or just...
It's more than I thought for this game. Usually when I do a game that is reasonably unknown, on like a weekday afternoon, I'll get like 35 people. I've got 58 right now, which is more like when I play like a mildly popular thing on a weekend.
Nice.
And then I get like, for Crusader Kings 2, I'll get like in the 70s, and then Terraria, I got 180. Which is insane. That's my all-time peak without raids, and I just got it random, unannounced Terraria stream.
I never got into... I bought Terraria at one point, and I slid off of it when I tried to play it the first time, and I just never went back to it. This was
It is very good.
This was well before I ever started doing YouTube stuff, so...
You should go back to it sometime. The very beginning seems a little daunting, but it's a really, really fun and a rewarding game. I think it's really well made.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot, and I'm not just saying it because I'm the top result on YouTube for Terraria gameplay. Which, man, Terraria community is one of those ones like Project Zomboid, where the hardcores of it only play that game.
Yeah.
They'll watch every single video on the internet with that tag and then watch nothing else. It's crazy, like, how insular it is. And so, like, that's what the Terraria community is like. I was having this big conversation with Amphibian the other night about that and about how Project Zomboid is very much the same way, where there's people who have 10,000 hours in Project Zomboid, and it's the only video game they play, and they've watched every video ever on it, and they are fucking masters of that game. And that's all they do. They don't play anything else.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that's
there's
just
people
so
that are
weird to me.
still teaching me things, and I've been playing it daily for, what, 5 years now?
Yeah, and like it's like it reminds me of like Paradox Interactive games,
Yeah.
where you can play it for years and years and years, and yet still you're always learning new stuff. The greatest example for that for me is Crusader Kings 2, which I play every week on my streams. Is I have so many hours in Crusader Kings 2, I've researched it so much, and yet it is a game entirely built on very small, obscure rules, thousands of them.
Yeah.
And so if you get a stream of 100 viewers who have all played a ton of Crusader Kings 2, it's the best thing in the world, because no matter what wacky thing just happened, either at least one person there said, 100 hours ago I had that happen, this is what causes it. Or nobody knows, and so they all start scouring Reddit and the wiki and everything to find an obscure rule and figure out why did that just happen.
Yeah.
And so everybody learns because someone will find the answer. Usually, we don't always find the answer because it is the most obscure rules of any video game I've ever seen. So we refer to the chat during those streams as the unofficial Crusader Kings 2 research team.
Nice. So I want to teach you how to use the flattening tool, because it's a little bit different.
How.
It basically takes whatever orientation you start the flattening out and continues it forever as long as you hold control down. So like,
Okay.
I've been expanding out from the flat base of the base to make it nice and flat. But if you look over here, let me show you on an angle.
It's kind
here.
of lumpy over there.
So like, if you look at here, how this starts to go downward. If I
Yeah.
take that angle and start it at that angle, it continues to flatten at that angle.
Okay, so you could tunnel like that.
Yes, this is why it's important to learn. It's because it's the main way that you tunnel. Is to
Okay.
just go straight down.
Yeah. Oop, right.
And also, of course, since the world is curved, even if you start flat, you'll start like raising above the other terrain around you because the curvature of the world kind of curves away from you.
Yeah.
And then the opposite of that is also Alt. If you hold down Alt, you can do up.
Build horrible structures.
Yes.
Immediately, the first thing you build accidentally starts to look a bit like a dick, because welcome to the internet, and that's just what happens.
Yep, I used to build what I was calling fingers to like this to point me towards my base.
That's amazing.
Like that. And
That's so
and of
good.
course everybody in my chat was saying that I was making giant penises.
Well, obviously.
So that I would, like, if I was out in the field, I would, every so often, I'd just stop and build something like this to know vaguely which direction I needed to keep going in if I was trying to get home.
Hold on, the chat needs confirmation. Are you claiming that the world is round?
The world is round, yeah.
I don't know. I know some people who would vehemently disagree to a ridiculous degree.
I'm quite the, whoops, what did I just do?
The flat Earth movement is the funniest. What the fuck did you just do?
I upset the base of that thing.
Oh, okay. The flat Earth movement is the funniest thing in the world to me. Hold on, let me reconnect this thing. It looks like the cable got disconnected. There we go.
Yeah, it's one of those really sad things too, because I don't know if you remember that the Flat Earth Society originally, like in the early days of the internet, was a satire website.
Yep, it was started by 4chan, which is hilarious to me.
And then eventually, people who didn't get the joke showed up, and now we're in this situation.
Oh, Pursuit of Knowledge achievement. Is that for getting enough bytes?
Probably, yeah.
Let me check.
Did it, or just finishing researching something. Now that it's done,
yes.
I'm gonna actually move this thing around a little bit because it's in the way of the printer right now.
Yeah.
So let's put it over here. So you can daisy chain things together like that. So
we should probably make a generator, shouldn't we? Because it seemed like we were having a lot of power issues.
Yeah, or some. I think we have to research it, but we need some power situation. So we have enough bytes. It looks like to research the small solar cell.
Well, what's better, that or the wind turbine?
Well, one works when the sun's out, one works when the wind's blowing, so...
Well, what's more likely on this planet, do we know?
Well, the sun is out by guarantee every day. The wind comes and goes.
That's a fair point. And also, we're not really at a high elevation as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's modeled that clearly, but yeah. I mean, and it's only 500 bytes. It won't take us that long to get another 500 bytes.
Yeah.
Although, let's see, well, that needs copper. They both need things we don't have currently. One needs copper and one needs glass.
I'm guessing we gotta go underground for copper?
I've also seen it in the mountains, so maybe we can do a little bit of mountain climbing.
Okay.
There's a mountain over in the direction we were going before, I think, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Let's go this
you
way.
keep going that way. I'm going to split up and go this other way up this area and see what I find. This will give the audience some incentive to use the multi-twitch and watch both perspectives.
There you go.
And I know I'm uploading this on my YouTube. If you're uploading it on your YouTube, then there's another incentive for people to watch both. Maybe put them as windows side by side or something.
That's a good point, Tinky. Do we need... I think we might. We actually need a refinery for copper. Somebody was pointing out in my chat.
Is that something we're able to make right now?
I think we have to research it, but I'll go through the research thing. You can keep looking around, because the research panel is a little bit tricky to navigate sometimes, because it's divided up into a bunch of different subsections, as you may have noticed.
I already know exactly what you mean about constantly hitting the wrong button. I cycle through backpack, tech, and pulling out my mining thing, and it's always the last one I click is the one I wanted.
Yeah.
I just keep doing that.
There is another situation, as someone in my chat's pointing out, that if we continue exploring around, we will eventually find crashed ships and stuff that occasionally have stuff already on them that we can just steal.
Okay. Ooh, I see snow up here. I'm gonna go up there.
Malachite is what you're actually looking for before it's refined into copper.
Oh, man, I want to play World of Warcraft Burning Crusade.
Is it the smelting furnace? Smelter, yeah.
You ever played World of Warcraft back when it was good?
I played World of Warcraft for 5 solid years.
You remember how good Burning Crusade was?
Yeah, I used some of our research to research a smelter, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, my World of Warcraft period was from... I'm actually going to build a smelter too, because it's stuff we have easily accessible. Was from about 6 months before the end of Vanilla through 9 months into Cataclysm.
That's almost exactly mine as well, which is shocking actually. Where it was Cataclysm really turned me off of it. I gave up before Cataclysm, just before, and then Cataclysm was the nail in the coffin. But I still sometimes play on, I have a private server that's really good that does Burning Crusade, because that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Although Wrath was also good. And yeah, if you ever want the details to join in on that, it's free and it's awesome and totally legal, I swear. I do a YouTube series on that because it's really fun. We have a guild and everything. It's great.
Oh,
it
nice.
works. It runs like butter. That game was so well optimized first time. I have viewers who use like shitty netbooks for word processing that they got for university who tell me the game runs at 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
It's so
I think
good.
that was part of what made World of Warcraft as successful as it was, is that it ran on basically anything.
Yeah, and it looks like, it's funny because like, yeah, like the textures are kind of out of date. The game looks really nice still. Like really seriously nice because the colors are so nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was impressive. Sorry, I'm just, God, I heard you say malachite, and when I hear malachite, I think of jewel crafting, and back when World of Warcraft was good, and I also think of Thea the Awakening, which is amazing, and Thea 2 is coming out.
What is that?
Thea the Awakening
Remind
is
me
like a
more about
small
that game.
indie game, though, so you may not have played that one. It was never super popular. Very cool Slavic mythology, fantasy, turn-based strategy game where you're trying to survive in a hostile world after a kind of apocalypse thing. Very cool game. You probably haven't seen it just because I don't think it sold very well.
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever played it.
You've probably seen it on sale on Steam a lot. It's one of those games, and it's very good. It's one of those ones that looks outwardly like, I've seen games like this, but when you play it, it's actually very unique and very good.
Cool.
I highly recommend it. I love that game to death, which is why I've done so much content on it.
Hey, Bill, thanks for 17 months
I'm
in a row.
coming back with a big-ass research thing, by the way.
Nice.
Retro says,
I can see it
think
floating
of
above your head.
Malakath because I play way too much TES. What's TES?
The Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Malakath is one of the data
god
princes,
guys, right? Yeah.
I think he's a data prince. It's funny you bring that up, Retro. I was just watching my my buddy, The Salt Factory, on YouTube. He just did a video where he revisited Morrowind for an hour, and it was a really good video. He did one like that for Oblivion last year that got really popular, like 2 million views. Salt Factory is a really good channel on YouTube. He's like a YouTuber who came in and his like second video ever got like 2 million views on YouTube and just got skyrocketed into stardom and had no idea what he was doing.
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I came to him and I was like, your videos are really awesome. We got talking, we became friends and everything, and so I kind of like, I kind of show him the ropes of like the stuff on YouTube that normally you learn over time, but he got thrusted into stardom early, so I'm trying to help out with that.
So you should just be able to put that on your, in your...
Where's the research thing?
Right
There
there.
it is. Do I need to tell it to start? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this a generator?
This is a smelting furnace.
Smelting furnace. Okay,
So right now I'm turning clay into ceramic, but just
so
because
you're
we
turning
just...
Dippin' Dots into ceramic.
Yeah, just because we happen to have it lying around. But we need to find malachite in order to turn it into copper.
Yeah, I should dump all this shit too in case I find anything useful. Fuck. Clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
But yeah, I was just firing up the furnace just because it was there, basically.
Why not? I'm sure we'll need the resource that comes of it at some point.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have almost 500 bytes right now. Is there anything we want? Tethers unlocked. We already have that whole row of stuff. Well, why is it here then?
One of the things that I would really like to do is to get a tractor, which is 1,000 bytes. Although we need aluminum for that, and we haven't found that yet either. We might
seeing
need
a lot of mods on here. I'm guessing that's to upgrade buildings?
No, that's to upgrade your driller.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Driller mods.
Yeah, somebody's
dynamite,
also
fireworks.
wanted me to show you that if you smelt organic, you get carbon, which won't happen until this thing finishes. But
Okay. And I'm guessing carbon is a fuel source.
yeah, for more advanced generators. Like for the small generators, you can use organics, but for like the bigger ones, you need carbon. So yeah, so there's that. I think ammonium can be... No, I guess ammonium can't be smelted into anything else, I don't think.
Ooh.
Maybe it can.
Look at that over there. There's like a giant asteroid or something.
Oh, that's the moon.
That's
can-
not the moon.
Yeah, it is.
I've
can
seen the
go
moon
there.
a lot of times, and that's definitely not the moon.
It's the moon of this planet.
I don't see a face on that. God, now I want to play Majora's Mask. I haven't played that in forever. That
Alright,
was
what
so
was
good.
I gonna do? Oh.
All right, hold on. We had to do the friendship test. Are you Ocarina of Time or are you Majora's Mask?
I'm going to make you very sad and say that I was not playing Nintendo games at that time, so I've never played either of them.
That's fine. They're good.
I was
like both. I like both of them, and I'm okay with both. But there is a definite correct answer, and that is Majora's Mask.
I've been basically a PC gamer my entire life. Like when I was growing.
Me too. I just also like consoles.
I mean, I like
mostly
them.
Nintendo.
I like them. I just didn't have access to them until I was an adult. Basically, is the situation. Because
I always had access to both. I was quite fortunate.
Because my parents always had a computer around, which actually, at being 37 years old, it's actually kind of unusual in my age group to have had computers in the house since I was basically as long as I could remember.
I was quite fortunate that my mom was really big into computer technology because some of my family worked in medicine in Canada quite high up. And that was part of what pioneered the internet. They said that they could remember the first time that they ever sent a direct message to a medical firm in India, and it only took like 10 minutes before someone said hi in return, and they all just freaked out because the internet wasn't a public thing yet.
Yeah.
So it was just like an internal thing for like medical facilities around the world. And so like that side of the family has been really into computer technology more so than like the average person for a long time. So I was quite fortunate to grow up with a computer in the house despite growing up in a village.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, my dad just liked the stuff. He doesn't have a real reason for it. He just thought it was fun. And so we had an Atari ST when I was a small child.
Yep,
Which is
we also had we had an Atari 2600, I believe, but by the time I was born, I was mostly playing the NES.
Yeah, well, the Atari ST was an actual computer that Atari made.
Yeah.
It wasn't a console. It was an actual like fully functional computer. So there's I'm just bringing this research thing back. I see a rec. If you want to go check it out.
Yeah, sure.
It's small. It's not one of the big ones, but let's see if there's anything useful in it.
I don't remember what our first computer was when I was growing up. I believe it ran MS-DOS because I remember playing a golf game for MS-DOS quite a bit growing up. Looking back on it, it probably wasn't a very good golf game. However, it impressed the hell out of me at the time, even though it was like, I think it was like vector graphics or something. It was just colored lines and text for the most part, but still, it was really cool for me as a kid. Even though, like, I was also playing Super Mario Brothers 3, which was a hell of a lot more impressive.
So the only thing...
That game is great.
Yeah, that is great. So it looks like the only thing in this that we have that's useful is this power cell.
Oh, you mean debris aren't useful?
Well, eventually you can get a shredder, and you can, like, chop it up for raw resources, but we don't have that right now. So you can just put that on your...
I'll carry this power cell back.
You can just put it on your backpack. You don't need to...
Oh, okay. I did it. Well,
I see
that's
another...
distracting to look at.
I see another wreck in the distance, so I'm heading towards that one, too.
Okay.
No, Tinky, I never played the original XCOM. It's not like one of the games I had.
That was a good one. That one is a bit hard to get into now. It is very not user-friendly.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
However, there is a series that I wish I could remember the name. I bet you somebody in the chat knows. I think Sophia might play this game. There's a series that's based on the original XCOM where it doesn't have the license, but it's basically just the original XCOM style of XCOM. So if you prefer that style, it's still around to this day.
Yeah.
Guardian King says, Majora's Mask was good, both the original and the remaster with the slight tweaks. I thought the remaster of Majora's Mask was pretty bad, actually. It does a lot of major gameplay tweaks that really make it user-unfriendly. Infamously, there's the problem of the guy who made Majora's Mask doesn't like Majora's Mask and says he doesn't get why anyone likes it. He was also the one who's in charge of the remaster, which is why the remaster made so many gameplay changes that really sucked and took out all difficulty. Xenonauts, that's the name of the series. Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Xenonauts is the series that's
it.
like classic XCOM.
Do you see that in the distance, that structure over that way? Or let me point that.
I...
Like,
Oh, Maybe?
It's over the direction that I'm facing. I'm trying to point, but I don't know.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry, it took a long time to pop in. I might need to look at my graphics options and see if there's like a draw distance.
So we should try. We need to get some.
No draw distance, really. That's strange.
Huh. Need to get to. I wonder if it's a server thing, like because you're
perhaps
hosted on mine. It's
perhaps.
Not. It's it has to come from my machine first. So
yeah.
we're gonna need some generators for that in order for that to be useful. So
okay.
Let's head back. We're gonna need component, I think, for generators.
Tether bundle. I need compound.
Compound.
By soil centrifuge. Okay. I need to make more tether bundles.
Compound is the gray blobby bits you see lying around.
Okay.
That we've hit several times.
Right. I remember those. Yeah. The bubble kind of things.
Yeah. What is this? Oh, I found some compound over here.
Oh, Jetstream says the structure was there for a little while. It's just that it looked a lot like the background of the sky because of the lack of shadow. I do have shadows turned on. I actually didn't touch my graphics settings because by default I just put them on the highest. At least I think it's the highest. Is it the highest? Let me double check. I don't care that much. I'm not a big graphics guy. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing high might be the high. Oh, no, there's ultra. Okay. It put things on basically the highest. I don't care. It looks nice to me.
Yeah, I mean, this game is pretty without being super demanding, I think.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that the shadows aren't having huge impact, because shadows in games are like the first thing you turn off when it's killing the computer.
Mm-hmm.
My computer is very strong. But I'm also recording and streaming at the same time, so there's a couple games where I need to turn it down a little. What was the game recently where I had to do that? I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, I'm running out of oxygen.
I'm gonna go make more tethers towards the structure.
Okay, we need to. I'll make some generators.
Okay. Oh, check on how that research is going, by the way, because I know we have another thing we can slot in when it's done.
Computer is strong like bull.
Okay, I see the structure now. Oh, it's got like a big glowy thing coming up from it.
Yeah, until they're turned on, they have that like glowy thing that shoots out of it, so that so they're easier to find.
There really should be a better thing for the tether bundles, for like placing them at the right distance. It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, somebody was saying it should have the thing like in Factorio where you just hold the button down and every time you need it, it drops.
I was actually just thinking about that.
I got really excited at first because when I was being told that by my chat, I didn't realize it was a suggestion. I thought it was like the way it worked, and I was like, oh my god, you're changing my life. I've been pressing every time. Like, nope, that's just a suggestion. That's not the way it actually works.
I did a series once. I did a multiplayer series once where it was like a multiplayer teaching you how to play Factorio, because I had beaten the game a few times and my friend Truth had never played it. And eventually, when it got to a certain point of the series where we'd have to just be waiting around for stuff quite a bit or doing busy work, it became basically a podcast about the show Sonic Underground. It was incredible. And so, like, every once in a while I'll get a new comment on that old series where people are just like, they've gotten really far and they're like, I came here to learn how to play Factorio, and yet I'm weirdly engrossed in two strangers teaching me about this terrible old cartoon.
Is that the Sonic cartoon from back in the day? Like,
one of them. Sonic Underground was abysmal, which is why it only went for one season. There were a few Sonic cartoons. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Sat AM, Sonic Underground. They were all bad on some degree.
I remember the Sonic cartoon with the guy who played Urkel was the voice of Sonic.
Was that?
I think that was the first one.
That's no good.
It's where the chili dogs and stuff.
Chili dogs, yeah, the comedy one. I've seen that one as well. That was Sonic the Hedgehog. There was a second one also called Sonic the Hedgehog. Not confusing enough. That's the one with like Sally the some fuck, and it was really serious and people really liked that, and everyone became a furry who watched it. I didn't watch that one, but apparently that was really popular and people really liked that one. And then there was Sonic Underground, which they're all cool and they're in a band and they beat people up with their instruments. They like play their instruments and cool shit happens. And that was fucking atrocious, and that's the one we always talk about. All right, and there was Sonic X, which was past my time.
I had no idea there were so many. From my perspective, there was just the one.
I think JonTron put it best forever ago when he said Sonic is like the strongest branded video game character of all time because it has survived on its brand for like 2 decades alone.
Yeah.
Because at the time that he had said that, they hadn't made a good Sonic game in like 15 years, and yet it's still beloved entirely on branding. And I'm like, well, that's probably the best argument I've ever heard as to Sonic the Hedgehog being the best branding in a video game character of all time.
Well, they do what Nintendo don't, so.
Yeah, I had a Genesis. I had all Nintendo consoles except the Genesis. Like, I had a Genesis instead of an SNES.
Whoops.
But luckily, because I had a computer and I knew what the internet was, I knew how to torrent things and how to emulate things way before anybody else. And so, like, I was emulating games when, in, like, year 1999, I was emulating stuff. And that's much earlier than a lot of people.
So we're going to need basically 6 of these guys, these small generators. And we have to power them all up at the same time.
That is really aesthetically cool the way it pops up. I like that.
Yeah, and so we have to chain together 6 of these. I thought originally when I used to do it, when I did it first, I thought you had to put 2 on each one of these little platforms, but you can actually just put 6 on a single platform, and it just needs the amount of power.
God damn it. Retro says, quote, I had all the Nintendo consoles except for the Genesis, MTV 2019. You know what I mean. I'm not saying that the Genesis is Nintendo. I'm saying I didn't have the SNES, I had the Genesis. That is the exception. God damn it. Sorry, I'm gonna get crucified. Okay, so to make generators, how much resource grand total do we need?
Need a bunch of compounds, so I'm going over here and grabbing it. Need basically 1 stack of compound per generator.
And the biggest pain in the ass of that is we also use compound for the tethers to get to the compound.
Well, you can survive for a while without it, so I'm just ran over here without tethers.
I will join in as well. Get this done faster. Man, I really do need to play Morrowind. Did you get into the Elder Scrolls series much?
I played a little bit of Morrowind, but I was really lost because if I remember correctly, its original like quest system was pretty bare bones, and so it was hard to.
Yeah, it's very text heavy.
It was hard to keep track of where I needed to go and what I needed to do.
Yeah, you pretty much just have a journal that you go into for everything. Like, I didn't play it a ton, but I played it a little bit a few years ago, and then earlier this year I played another few hours and kind of got into it, and so I wanted to do it on the show one day. You know what's aged really astonishingly well is Daggerfall.
Yeah.
When you first boot it up, the controls are impossible. But if you edit the controls, it actually controls like a modern game, because it does have a mode, not by default, where like it's a modern FPS or not a shooter, modern first-person game, where when you move your mouse, it moves your face rather than having a cursor on screen.
I think I was close enough though.
It has a mode for that built in. They're kind of ahead of the time.
Yeah.
And they also like you can remap just about everything so that like, you know, A and D are strafing rather than looking left and right, like turning. And you can actually make it control in a really modern way, and it actually is not that hard to learn. It's really fun.
Cool.
So I want to do that on the show too. You wouldn't think Daggerfall would control well, considering it was 96, I want to say. It's pretty old. Alright, I need to make more tethers.
I think it looks like I've got enough compound to make all 6 of these, so...
Oh, sweet, go for it. I'll have a few compound on me as well in case you run out.
And then we're going to need the organic to actually power them. So, the other bit.
Oh, I have a little on me.
I have one. Touch it and press F to turn it off, because we don't want it on right now, or it'll use it up.
I'm just going to preemptively turn all of them off.
I don't know if you can.
I just did.
Oh, can you? Oh, who knew?
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn something new.
Fuck you, I'm the pro now. What's this floating thing? Hold on, there's like a floating thing.
Oh.
Is this on your end as well?
Wait, where are you?
Okay, hold on. Let me point at it. Where's the? There we go. Oh no, that's the wave button. Shit. It's right in front of me, floating in the air.
I don't think I see it.
Right here. I'm head butting it.
Yeah, it's
No?
not on mine.
It's only on my end.
It's
Everybody
special
go
for
look
you.
at that multi-twitch to see these. It's completely black even when I put my flashlight on it. It's like untextured or something. It's very strange. But it reflects light.
Huh.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a coil of copper wire.
Yeah.
It's very small. It's a disc shape. And it's completely black and floating in the air. When I touch it, nothing happens.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird artifact, I guess.
Poombaju says, yes, Daggerfall was 96. I'm a genius.
I have such a poor memory for dates. Do you ever watch Northern Lion at all?
I have seen a bit of him in collaborative stuff with other people.
He
Hold
has...
on, what's this whole structure?
That's another wreck, yeah. I was going to point it out after we got this done.
Oh, look what I just pulled out of the ground. Is this important?
Yeah, it's like a storage platform. You can store
we should
stuff
probably be using that rather than dropping it on the ground.
on it. But he has the most amazing mind for dates. Like, he, for whatever reason, can remember when everything has happened. And he's almost always right, which is the crazy thing.
Some people are like that, and I don't get it, because I cannot do that.
Yeah, I don't either. I can vaguely remember. It's like, I don't know, that was like late 90s probably? Like, that's about as good as I can get.
I'm passable with some things, but like... Okay, I think we have all the generators ready. Do we just boot it up, or should we
just
collect
turn 'em on.
more?
Nope, just turn them
Okay.
on. You gotta wait for it to finish processing.
Gaming Quarks asks, how many planet cores have you done?
Me
Me personally, none. I'm really new to the game.
I've done one so far. I've spent almost my entire play on the single planet so far in my own game.
Ah.
But yeah. You power these things up and they become like teleporters between each other. So that you can get around on the planet.
Got an achievement. Ooh, that's cool looking. Gaze, don't mind if I do. What a progressive game. What the fuck am I clicking on right now? I have no idea.
So basically what that is showing you is that we've turned one on, which is that origin node at the top. And then there are 5 more on the surface that need to get turned on.
Oh.
And 1 in the middle of the planet.
I'm sorry, that's what you gleamed from that?
Well, not right away, but that's what I figured out.
Okay. I haven't been this confused by the gaze in a while. No, this show's bad. Jesus.
Alright, was this platform...
I just love the idea of this being someone's first impression. Oh, research item. How did I miss that before? Let me carry this home.
Alright, that's all just debris. Alright, so we found a big...
Oop, fuck.
I don't think I can combine these right now, unfortunately. I'm gonna bring... Rather than bring home this... this medium storage, I'm gonna bring home the wind turbine.
Okay.
Because that...
I'm bringing home this research.
That seems more important. If you get it close to you... it's a little wonky, but if you pull it in close, you can kind of carry it. Like if you look at me, you'll see that my guy's like has his hands out and is holding it.
Is that faster than?
Well, you can actually sort of sprint a little bit with this way, where you can't if you're just holding it in the middle.
Because I would just pick it up and then throw it forward and then keep walking, because it's better than like carrying it on my floaty thing.
Yeah, that's also a good option.
I wonder what's faster. I need to check speedrun.com. Do you watch much speedruns?
Not really. I've seen
speedruns. I
find them
speedrun a bit.
interesting. Yeah, I've seen your tweets about the stuff you're doing with what Resident Evil. Was that right?
I do Silent Hill 2.
Silent
I
Hill,
can beat the
that's what it
game
is.
in about 45 minutes right now. World record is 39 minutes 21 seconds by Punchy, who's the guy who taught me how to.
Yeah.
I learned by Punchy and Nicodiasis. If anybody in the chat knows those names, they're the ones who taught me how to play.
Cool. Yeah, I find them interesting in like an interesting intellectual pursuit of like trying to break a game basically to see how fast you can go.
Very fun.
But it's not something I find interesting to do myself, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
I think it really depends on the game as well, because so many speedruns are so drastically different.
All right.
One of the reasons
We'll try,
why I
Laura.
like speedrunning Silent Hill 2 is one, I like those old tank control games, even though Silent Hill 2 speedrunning on PC, you don't use tank controls for 99% of the run. You actually only use it for the last 30 seconds. Because almost every mechanic you use in Silent Hill 2 speedrunning is a PC exclusive mechanic, because the PC port was made in like a month and it's crap. And so every mechanic that they put in that's PC exclusive is bugged to hell. And so that's why you use them, because it's so bugged out that you can skip shit. Like, there's a part near the end of the Silent Hill 2 run where you just run through a wall, and it's the hardest thing to do in the game. And you can only do it on PC because it has a quick save feature, and the quick save feature is so irreparably fucked up that it allows you to do all kinds of shit the game doesn't normally let you do. If you're quick saving, load zones don't trigger. So you can just walk through load zones and nothing happens. And you can use this to just walk out. Like, anytime there's like a stairwell that would take you to another part of a room, if you're mashing quick save and you walk past it, you can just walk forever and walk out of the stage. So you find ways to walk out of walls and then come back in at the right angle to like fall back out of bounds, and then walk to other parts of the world.
So I'm getting requests from my chat to go underground. So
let's do it.
Start digging a tunnel here.
Okay, I will take care of the tethers, I guess. Ah, fuck. I have a lot of dignity. All right, so it's control, and then there we go.
You just gotta make sure you get the right angle on it.
Yeah. I think I got it. Ooh, do we need a little bit of roof space?
Yeah, if you want to open the roof up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll take care of that for you. Because that's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Eventually we'll hit a tunnel here, and then we can really explore the space.
You have to go into the planet and turn it on. Quick, make a joke. No, that's your job. I'm not a comedian. This is only my job. Come on. Someone just said Kurt Angle, and I don't know why.
I'm gonna go put some tethers down so we don't end up dying of oxygen down here.
Do you know who Kurt Angle is?
I don't.
Are you American?
I am American.
I thought he was supposed to be your hero. He won.
I'm not a very good American.
I want to say it's 1996 Olympic gold medalist for Greco-Roman wrestling. Now, I've never watched the Olympics in my life, and I don't give a fuck about sports. The only reason I know that is because he later became one of the most famous pro wrestlers of all time, and he would always use his gold medal in storyline to brag. It was great.
Whoops.
Pro wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
I'm bad with names, so if I ever knew that name, I could have forgotten it. So
yeah, he's considered an American hero in Pittsburgh. He's considered a Pittsburgh hero. I mean, it's very impressive. He actually won the gold medal in Greco-Roman wrestling with a broken neck.
Wow.
It's incredibly impressive. Yeah, he just retired last week at WrestleMania. It was his last match ever. He is in his 50s, I think, and is not nearly as good as he used to be. It's quite unfortunate.
I think we're close to a cave because I'm hitting some sort of resource you normally find in the caves.
I'm still just trying to kind of open up the roof for you. I feel like that's probably a good use of my time.
Oh. I did learn something interesting, is that the sound of processing stuff, of like getting stuff, is apparently at the site where you're digging it up. So when you're digging that directly above my head, it's like
it's really
loud.
Sorry.
I mean, it's not your fault, but all right.
No,
so there's
fault.
we got a
I'm a bad person.
There's a cavern right here.
Oh.
We're right on the edge of.
Oh, it's cool. It's got spires and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting cavern biomes that you'll find eventually.
Oh, what's that thing down there? Is that like a research or what
Could
is
be.
that?
Let's try and
it's some kind of resource down there.
let's try and build ourselves a
Yeah.
pathway down.
Oop. Here we go. Oh, this is cool.
Let me get a
Let me
slightly
get a tether.
let me get a slightly steeper angle here so we get down there faster.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to you. You're better at that.
Although it is...
So, Gaming Court says, quick question. Do you know you can research astrominium? Astrominium.
I don't think we're there yet. But I
I'm
think
very
that's one
new,
of those...
I'm very new to the game.
I'm pretty sure that's like one of the pretty advanced resources, if I'm remembering correctly, but I could be wrong.
So these mushrooms look like organics. Okay.
All right, we got a broken bit here. Is there anything useful from this? That's just debris. That's debris. All right, this one doesn't have anything useful on it. Sometimes
how did a crash landing happen down here? Oh, hold on. There's a green gas coming at us. What is that?
Yeah, that'll hurt you.
Okay, I will stay away from that. Do we need to make some kind of light source, or are the flashlights good enough?
Flashlights are okay. At some point, if we can find some quartz, we can make work lights, which will give us like a, surround us with a light.
Oh.
But we
I can
don't
research these.
We need to find...
Oh.
Um,
Got hurt a little.
is this what you're going for, this thing?
No, when I destroy those things that send out the gas... Yeah, they had a little minor research thing come out.
I'll just put that over there for now. I'm gonna make some more tethers, because I'm almost out. There should be malachite around here somewhere. There's some resource over in the distance, although I think it's saphirite. It's usually what's around this time.
Big research item there.
Alright, I think this is saphirite, which I don't remember what this becomes. Do you guys remember what this becomes? Somebody in my chat will know.
Yeah, saphirite. Well, I'm sure it'll progress us in some way, because we weren't getting it before. What are these? Oh, research blends. I'll go get those.
Zinc. This saphirite becomes zinc. Okay.
Okay. Oh, what's this down here? There's like a crystal thing. Let me get this. Oh, I think I might have picked this up before. What is this? I gather enough. Quartz! I got quartz.
Oh, good. We need quartz. Is there more down there?
I don't... If you dig around, probably.
Yeah, there is. I see it. If we can get if you can get a full stack
I just choked to death.
Yep, that'll happen.
I didn't realize my health was so low.
There's no health bar that I can figure out, so you just kind of have to know that you've been hurt, and then it comes back after a while, I think.
Oh shit, I got no inventory left. Okay, can I pick it up for my body?
Yes, if you come back down here, your body will be here.
Okay, I don't remember where you are. Are you able to drop a beacon?
Not really, but if you follow the tether line that goes underground to if you're looking away from the habitat, it's to your right, over near the landing pad. I mean, we only have one tether line down here, so...
Hold on, it's just we have so many tether lines going off the base, I don't remember which one's underground. Oh, this one, okay, got it. I'll be there in a minute.
Alright, I'm gonna make myself a work light if I can.
Oh, it's so cool that I can slide down this.
Oh, we need to... Wait, work lights take copper? I thought they took glass.
I mean, copper makes sense.
I suppose for a light, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you could sprint. Oh god, I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, you can sprint.
Why did I never try hitting shift the whole game? It's a sprint in every video game. Why didn't I try that?
I was wondering why it was
me?
taking you so long to get back with the research item that you had before.
Ah. Okay, here we go. I found my body. Let me just pick that up.
Make sure you don't get hit by the poison gas of the thing that killed you the first time.
I'm getting hit again by the poison gas that killed me the first time.
Here, let me kill that plant, and then it won't be a problem.
Yeah, I was trying to kill it before to get the research out of it, and I failed and died. Okay, is there no just quick pick up everything button from this fucking backpack?
I think if you hold shift while you're clicking on things, it'll pick them up.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna take all of this quartz up and start processing it in the furnace because
I'll keep hitting this place up and see what I can find.
Because I'm all full.
Okay. I'll see if I can get more research.
Cool. I'm gonna take one of these big research things with me up as well on my way out.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Was she making noise, Laura? I didn't hear her making any noise.
Okay. So what's our top priority of new resources we found down here? Like, do we want to like keep getting more quartz here, or what is it that we need the most of down here?
I feel like copper is like sort of a limiter right now. We kind of need copper. We haven't found any yet.
Okay. I'll see if I can find any down here.
We might need to.
Is there any way to scan for resources?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
If it is, it's something I haven't researched.
Do we want pop coral seeds?
You know, I don't know why those are there, because I couldn't ever come up with a reason why you would want to grow them. I guess because when you destroy them, sometimes you get the little
research
thing. That's the only reason I could think of that you would want to do that. But
you don't really get much.
yeah, it's not much, so that's why I'm like, I guess this is the thing they want.
Game & Cork says we probably want more quartz.
Yeah, I have 4 of it, and I've put all 4 of them on the smelter to turn into glass, so.
Alright, let me bring back this big research thingy.
Yeah, we just finished processing what I'm putting in the last green rock I brought up on it right now.
Okay.
Although we have no
We're gonna have
wind.
to make more research things at this point. We've got so many big things to research.
Alright, so can I do anything with glass?
That.
Not currently is the answer. Okay.
Well, I'll keep trying to get more research down here while I explore then. That kind of looks like a green apple Jolly Rancher. I can see that. Once again, clicking all the wrong things before I click the right thing. Oh, there's like another structure or something over here. What is this?
See if I can figure out where you are.
Exodynamics Research Aid. Maintain desired power input to unlock.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Research unit.
Those things you plug them in, and you have to. We need to go. I'd have to go get generators to make that work. Or
Okay,
make.
how
them,
many
I
do we need?
suppose. I think it's 2.
Oh, there's
I
another
can't
one in
remember.
the distance down here.
Yeah, some
how
of
important
them
are these?
Some of them take resources. Like that one looks like it takes a resource of some variety. And other ones take power, like the one that you found.
Okay.
Let me go run over there and see what that one takes. It looks like it takes a resource from a distance, but it's kind of hard to tell exactly.
Trying to get all these research samples.
If we're lucky, it's Saphirite, because that's the easy to come by around here. I think that's Saphirite. There's another one that takes power down here, too. Just see it.
Did I destroy this thing? I guess. Okay. Trying to get rid of all those gas-producing things and get all the research out of them.
Alright, let's see. Resources.
There's a bunch of these things down here.
No, it's not Saphirite. What is it that it takes?
Yeah, there's another one over here. This is another power supply one. Oh, and there's like a wreck over here. Debris. Bunch of debris. Oh, and I killed myself again.
How'd you do that?
Poison gas.
Ah, yeah.
Man, that sneaks up on you.
Yeah, and this is the like I said, this is a little it's a fairly chill game, but it'll get you sometimes.
Yeah. Oop. What did I just do there? I don't know what I just did there.
I've never played No Man's Sky yet, but they were developed at about the same time, so I don't
fall
know.
damage. I'm okay. I'm gonna go find my body. Hold on, let me fix the thing on my other monitor. There we go.
All right.
Oop.
So
I accidentally am pointing at the ground. I didn't know that's a thing I can do.
pointing at the ground. Oh yeah, if you just click.
Yeah,
what
and it
you're
makes
talking
an
about?
arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so that we can point things out to each other.
Where the hell are you? I'm trying to find my body. I keep following the wrong tether lines. Is this the...
It's in the direction of
That's
me.
not the right one.
Where? Yeah, come this way. I know where your body is.
This way, where are you?
I saw you for a second. Now I don't see you.
Oh, there. Now I see you.
Oh. I was like, I saw your icon, and then it disappeared on me.
This way, yeah. That's a good question, Sassarus. How does poison gas kill you that fast while you're being fed oxygen in an enclosed suit?
Maybe it's not.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not poison gas. It's like acidic.
Oh, so it's like
Like
eating through my suit or something? Or maybe the developers didn't think about it as hard as we are.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. They were just like, this is dangerous. End of story.
Look out, danger gas.
Yeah.
Alright, let me get some oxygen.
I'm running around off tethers. That's probably a bad idea. Oh, this is compound. Good, I can make more tethers.
I'm starting to follow you with tethers. There
Hey,
you go.
thanks.
Hey, you're welcome. Okay, why was I going over here again? I saw some debris or something earlier, and I didn't get a good look at it. Where was that?
Somewhere near where you died, I think. Oh, I think I see it in the distance. Over there.
Wonder if there's anything we should be desperately researching, because we're getting a lot of bites.
Yeah, it depends on what we want to do. Because if we want to do stuff on the surface, researching some sort of vehicle is probably the best plan. If we want to keep digging, then the mods are often helpful because they let you dig bigger amounts and faster and stuff. So it just depends on what we want to do.
What would you suggest? Oop.
There's of course also the possibility to research the spaceships. I was gonna say the flyaway things.
The flying machines.
Someone
what are
is in my
these?
chat is suggesting centrifuge, and then somebody also just wants to see a trailer that has 2 driver's seats just to see what happens.
I got a new resource.
What'd you get?
Hold on. I'll get back to an oxygen thing and check. This is not the best shaped land, and I accidentally clicked into the window. Now I can't see the chat. I will fix that in a second. Oh, where's my oxygen tether? I walked way too far away, and now I don't see where it is. Well, I saw you pointing, so it must be in this direction. There we go. I'm good. Let me fix my chat. The game thought I was trying to click out of the window, and so it clicked my right monitor and made the chat go away. Now the chat's back. Okay. What was that resource I got? Not that button, not that button. It's always the last button I click. Laterite.
All right, I think this one that takes a resource may take laterite, so come over here.
Sorry, you cut out for a second there. Something takes laterite, so what?
I think this researchy thing over here takes laterite, so come over here. I might be wrong, it might be a different resource, but
Insert the appropriate resource. Well,
see
we'll
if
try.
it goes there. Yep, there it
Hey!
goes.
Hey!
All right, so don't scan that. Those are worth more if you take them back to the big scanner and scan them. You can get
okay.
them for a quick boost, or you can do a big scan on them.
Okay, I put it on my backpack.
All right, so we'll put that on the scanner when we get it back up top. There's more laterite over there, it looks like. Laterite.
My inventory is full. Let me, is there anything I want to drop? Is there anything total crap here? Do I need resin on me? I'm not sure that I do.
Well, I mean, everything is pretty much always helpful, so...
Yeah. Maybe I should go back up top and drop the stuff off.
Yeah, just see what the situation is up there. Probably the stuff that's on the refinery or smelter thing probably needs to get taken off. And if you want to put the laterite on the smelter, it'll also smelt into something. I don't know what. Can't remember.
Sure.
I think aluminum.
I gotta find my way back up. I think I see where it is. No, that's not where it is. I am very lost. I might have to put down a beacon at some point.
Sorry, I personally have like a really strong sense of direction. So
Yeah,
I tend not to get that lost in these things. So,
Yeah,
but I need to go back up.
aphantasia. I will try to find you, then you will lead me.
I have to
hold
go-
on. I looked up and saw some glowies up there. That must be it. I have aphantasia, so I can't picture things in my head. So that makes navigation in places like this very difficult.
Huh.
Yeah. I have a slew of disabilities. Life is fun. I have cerebral palsy, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I have aphantasia. It's balls! Thanks for following, though, Polish Man Gaming.
My wife has something called CMT,
That sounds familiar.
Charcot-Marie-Tooth, which is a peripheral neuropathy.
What does that do?
Makes her... It's like a wasting for her hands, arms, and legs, basically. So it's like there's sort of two versions. It's actually like more than one disease that was described so long ago that they just called it one thing, but we now know that there was like lots of different kinds. But it's like what am I trying to say? It causes the signals traveling down your nerves to not travel as far as they're supposed to, or like travel as easily. Like there's two versions. One, either the signal gets the sheath on your nerves is too thin and the signal gets lost, and then there's also one where the sheath on your nerves is too thick and so the signal can't get through. But the result is the same, is that the nerves at the end of the line, so like on your hands and feet and stuff, the signal never makes it there.
That sucks.
Which causes those muscles to eventually atrophy away because they're not getting used properly.
Is there any kind of like special exercises and stretches you have to do for that?
Polish Man Gaming, thanks for the follow. Not really. Like, I mean, obviously working the muscles keeps them healthier than not doing it.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of, deterring its progression. And it's also wildly variable in how affected it is. So like her...
Yeah, that's kind of like Ehlers-Danlos, but with joint decay.
Yeah.
You can do a lot. There's maintenance you can do that helps. Some people have it worse than others.
That's for like
Sometimes
the
you can get like
tissue, right?
you can get like silicone injections, like my mom does in her shoulder blades, to make sure there's always cushion for the joints.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that my case isn't as bad as that. I am unlucky that I have cerebral palsy, though, because that one's not genetic. That's random.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I'm very lucky that I'm not very affected by it. It's some motor skill things that are fairly minor. I look normal. And my cognitive abilities are fine. Either then aphantasia, which may or may not be related to the cerebral palsy, because people can just randomly have that and never know their whole lives. Because aphantasia is almost undiagnosed. It got named like 4 years ago by a guy on Facebook.
I think I've only ever heard of it once before.
Yeah, a big YouTube video came out about it earlier this year. It is so unknown. Because the thing is, people who have aphantasia usually have no idea they have it their entire lives and can't describe it to anybody. I found out I have it back when there wasn't a name for it when I was 20. Because I always thought when people say, like, picture this, I thought that was just a turn of phrase, like everything in English is.
Yeah.
So I went on a goofy rant about it with my friend, and then he's like, yeah, but you can literally picture that. And, like, I realized at some point in the conversation there's something I fundamentally don't understand. And after conversation, I realized people can picture things in their head. For me, you ever look at a light bulb by accident, and it's really bright, and you look away, and there's that after image of, like, swirly colors in the general shape of what it used to be?
Yep.
That is what I can see in my head sometimes. It's not willingly. It just kind of happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I can see that in motion, and it's simulating a motion. And that is about as good as my mental... It's sometimes referred to as, like, aphantasia is a scale of mental visual clarity, and once you're low enough on the scale, you're considered having aphantasia.
Yeah.
So that ranges between it's totally black all the time, nothing's ever there, and you can't focus on anything there. So that's why I really suck at any math that I can't do by sound in my head. Because I can picture the numbers in my head, and I know they're there, and I know that they're correct, but I can't read them, which is very confusing to describe, and is confusing even to me.
Yeah.
Because I have no way of knowing they're correct. I just feel like they're correct, but I can't read them, so it doesn't matter. So Captain Otterspotter says, so you don't have a mind's eye? I have an incredibly weak mind's eye. It does some swirly colors and not really willingly, and it kind of does motions that I can kind of decipher sometimes. It's essentially worthless. It doesn't do anything useful. And sometimes it's very distracting because it does things that I'm not trying to get it to do. So, there you go.
Yeah.
So I've had people in the community say that they realized they had aphantasia because I talked about it, and they're like, wait, people are supposed to be able to picture things in their head? Like, it is not that uncommon a condition. It's just most people who have it will never find out they have it.
Yeah, it's like people that are colorblind that don't learn it for a long time. There we go in the chat
with Amazing Lore asking the exact thing that almost everybody who first hears about it asks, can you dream? Which is a really fascinating question, because the answer is yes. A lot of people with aphantasia can dream quite vividly. It is not that it is completely impossible for the brain to picture things. It's that for whatever reason, it can't do it very well. And apparently people with aphantasia can be trained to start picturing things. It's just an incredibly hard to do process because it has had almost no research into it. Because it's so
I am reading the chat. Polish is just kind of
understanding
with
what this is.
Multiple things. It's a little bit
it
weirder
is not
to
that the brain is
handle the chat.
incapable. Oh, you are suffocating.
Yeah.
It is not that the brain is incapable of picturing things. It's that it doesn't know how, and it can be trained, but the training process is so unknown that no one knows how to work it out properly.
Not until it releases for full instead of just sort of
I know people have theories about
release.
picturing an apple in your head and then attempting to rotate it in your head, and apparently practicing it that really dedicated and hard can increase your mental visual clarity. I've never been able to pull it off, though.
Yeah, I have really strong spatial reasoning. Like
That's cool.
My internal maps are really strong. It's one of these things that I've always talked about as being like something that in another time would have been like a useful skill that's now just basically like a parlor trick, you know?
Kind of. I'm sure it would have been more useful before, but I would kill to be able to picture things in my head properly because it impacts me as a content creator a lot. Because anytime that I'm working on art assets, which I do most of my own art assets, either than like the caricature of me that's like my branding, that I commission from an artist that I'm friends with. However, the majority of all my thumbnails, all my art assets, everything, I make myself. And so it starts as very basic geometric shapes because I don't know what it'll look like until I put it down. And so I just start fucking around until it becomes something. And then I start working from there, and I can work with that to some degree. But I am not very creative with stuff like that, and I have a very hard time with creative edits unless I have a strong audio idea.
Yeah.
Because I can hear things in my head just fine. I can recreate songs really accurately. I can't do visuals almost at all unless I have a strong starting point that I can see. And so I'd love to be able to picture things because I'm actually quite impacted by it on things that are trivial in terms of everyday living but impact my job.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's mostly like useful in the sense that I have a really strong sense of direction, and that's one of those things that like in the world before GPS or like in the age of exploration that probably would have been really useful. Nowadays it's just like, oh, you know how to get there without using GPS? Go, good for you.
Yeah, my mom has a genuine photographic memory. She used to be able to memorize stuff from foreign dictionaries. It's incredible. Because when she was in college, she spoke about 7 languages, including like ancient Egyptian she could read and stuff.
Wow.
It's really fascinating. That is the opposite of me. I have an incredibly hard time with language outside of English. And I've never been able to speak or read a language outside of English. Although I think I'm quite good at English. I can't read cursive, for instance. I was never taught it properly, and I've never been able to learn it and read it. For some reason, I have a very hard time with that.
I was always terrible at cursive. My handwriting is awful.
My handwriting is illegible to the point that I can't read it, like just printing on paper, but that's part of the cerebral palsy. I was allowed to type from an early age with a laptop because basically my writing on paper never progressed past a kindergarten level, so it is so illegible that I can't read most of it. So my signature, when people sign for me, there's always the moment every time I sign anything for a package of I write it down, they look at it, and then they ask me what my name is.
Yep.
Because they need to know that I'm the correct person. And it's not chicken scratch. It is a mixture of uppercase and lowercase, and it genuinely looks like a preschooler wrote it. Because it hurts to write. My hand isn't meant for that.
Yeah. Toad Cole in my chat says Canadian English. When you said that you only speak English.
Yeah. Bite me. At least it's not Canadian. You can make fun of Canadian French all you want.
He did put a JK after it, so.
You can make fun of Canadian French all you want because it's hilarious, nasally potato farmer French. Canadian English? Come on, it's not that different.
I don't know. He was just looking for a joke. I thought it was funny.
At least it wasn't the fucking a boot thing. That's like the one. I'm completely 100% up for every single like making fun of Canadianisms, except people who are like, "Lol, Canada, a boot." You know who says a boot? Because there are places in Canada where they say a boot. It's New Brunswick. That's about 6% of the Canadian population.
Yep.
No one lives in fucking New Brunswick. That's like the one place. Oh, and like Halifax. People in Halifax will say a boot. And they sound just like me, where it's like a very general accent, but they say a boot. And they don't say that they don't say a boot. So that's why you hear Canadians fight the whole a boot thing, because the people who say that they say it. Because they know that they say it because they're saying it. And then we all get tarred with that fucking brush just because we say the O and the U noise heavier than Americans do. And goddamn you, because we have so many stronger accents than that you don't make fun of, but you make fun of the accent that we don't have.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I mean, the Newfoundland accent I know is kind of
very Irish. Very
much, but you don't. There are not that many Newfoundlanders out and about, I guess, because
exactly you don't find many Newfies. The Newfies are their own subculture, but they sound incredibly Irish, especially when you find old people from Newfoundland. They sound so Irish.
Just clean it up.
Dejin says, "Fuck off! I live in New Brunswick." Yeah, so you know I'm right. You know
he knows
firsthand
that he knows
right.
that you're right about that.
Exactly. I heard that as roofies, says Nebula. No, newfies.
Newfies.
Newfies. That's the endearing term for Newfoundlanders.
Oh, we need a large platform for this.
And nobody here says a boot. I disagree with you. However, in fairness, the other islands say it more than you do. And Jetstream says, "No, fuck you for living in New Brunswick." I really like what the chat has become.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my dog singing her song.
I do. It's a beautiful song.
This is her hunger song. My dog is the one emote that I have is of a picture of my dog, and we refer to her.
What does your dog look like?
Is anybody in his chat that is a subscriber for mine? You can put the emote, get a basic look.
I have Jetstream in here. Jetstream sub to you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jetstream, do his emote of the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
give him a little hunger dog.
The cat. There we go. Oh, it looks like a little dog.
Yeah, she's a Shih Tzu-ish dog. She's an
so
old,
I don't really
lady.
know anything about dogs, but I think dogs are wonderful. I was a cat family my whole life growing up, and I love cats to death. However, like we were the crazy cat family. Like at our peak, we had like 6 cats at a time. But we took really good care of our cats always. So it's weird to me right now. The last few years of my life have been my only time not having pets.
Yeah.
But it's just because we live in a bit of a small place now that I live with my wife, and the cats would sometimes get in the way of recordings. So we just haven't gotten a cat. We won't until we get a proper full-on house. So yeah.
So I'm trying to find
Canadian discourse is real, says Captain Otterspotter.
I got a new platform, but I can't figure out what printer prints it. I guess it's the small printer, which we don't have right now.
Hold on,
I
can you
make one of
explain to me
those.
how this medium wind turbine catches any wind?
What do you mean?
How does it catch the wind?
This is a real type of wind turbine. It's basically this is basically the curve of the thing is basically like the wing of a plane, and so it starts spinning because of the same way that a plane gets into the air.
That's just so weird to me because like I thought it would have like a like a big cloth sheet or something to catch the wind.
Yeah, no, it works on the same principle as like the wing of a plane.
Huh, that is absolutely fascinating. I had no idea that that was a kind of wind turbine.
Yeah, they don't. They're one of those ones that like still needs some work before you'll start seeing them in the real world very much. But that's like people talk about them. They're ideally better than regular wind turbines because they have one less movement, one less joint. You know, because the one wind turbine you're coming in horizontally, and then you're turning it into a vertically. If that makes sense. Can't really.
I very vaguely understand, but I also think my inability to picture might be kneecapping this.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So this this power cell that we found earlier that I just put on the ground over here. What is this for?
You see the yellow in the middle of your backpack, the like spine of your backpack. So that's your power level, and it hasn't come into play much yet because it doesn't really.
When I make tethers and stuff, it goes down, but it goes right back up.
And until you have mods on your terraforming tool, your digging doesn't take power. But once you have mods, it actually starts drawing power.
Okay.
And so that is like the power cell is like just a quick shot of power, basically.
Okay. Also, thank you for following LFCC, Luke, Jesper, sorry. In Kikaharu. Welcome to the vlog. Hope you enjoyed the stream.
All right, just make us some more platforms here.
Oh, someone's asking if anybody knows when the next update will come to Xbox. Apparently, there's some problems with the frame rate on the Xbox version. I don't know much about the game. I'm new to it today. Archer, do you know anything about the Xbox version?
I know nothing about the Xbox version.
All right.
A lot of those things.
HZX.
I know that those things have to go. Like those updates are always slower on the consoles because they have to go through like this like longer term approval process and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that being a really big problem in the early days of Payday 2, when a lot of people complain that Payday 2 console versions are always way behind. But it's because both Sony and Microsoft had these really weird requirements for updates, and they charge companies to push through an update. It's very strange to me. You ever played Payday 2?
No, I never have.
I used to be a big Payday 2 YouTuber and streamer many years ago, and I love that game to death. I'm not a huge FPS guy in general, but it's also like an action RPG, and it's a bank heist game, and it is so fucking well done. It is such a fun game, and it's a stealth game. Like, it's so many wonderful things all put together that it's got a very wide appeal because of it. Good sense of humor to it. It's just a fun game. I gotta get back to it.
Yeah. All right, trying to find other things that we can work on here.
Jetstream says the problem with multi-stream is that the chat scrolls to the top every time you switch back to the other chat. That's weird. Hopefully that won't be an issue forever. There's a update that Twitch is doing right now called Squad Streams, where it's basically multi-Twitch but built into Twitch itself. And right now, I am able to do it because it's in like a beta thing and it's partner only, and I'm a partner on Twitch. However, you can't invite anybody who's not a partner right now, so far as I know. Maybe there's an opt-in, I don't know, but Archer's not as a partner. I keep almost saying subscriber. A partner right now, so he can't try that right now, but at some point, I believe it'll be public for everybody.
Oh, the rover seat takes plastic. Joe, I won't be able to do your rover seat experiment because we don't have access to plastic right now.
Oh, thanks for following KPHZX. I feel like I need to start calling you something different because that name is incredibly awkward to say. Sonar, turbine, battery. So is battery for storing extra power?
Yes. Yeah. So
I'm guessing that's for like if the wind stops or if the sun goes down.
Yeah.
You think maybe I should research that? It needs lithium. Do we have lithium?
We don't currently, no. I think we have to actually go off planet for lithium. What was I looking
Do you think maybe we should start researching towards that, or do we not have what we need?
I'm not sure. I lost track of my train of thought here. Hang on. Soil centrifuge, that's what I was going to do. It's probably a large print. Sorry, I was trying to get us a soil centrifuge up so that we can get compound and stuff easier.
Tractor, aluminium. Yeah, we don't have that.
Nope, not a large print. Must be a medium.
I just realized that there's other tabs of the research thing that have, like,
it's
more
arranged by like small, medium, and large kind of thing.
Yeah, I just started looking at those. Extra large storage, steel and iron. Well, we definitely don't have that. We have a lot of bytes built up.
Yeah, I just used some to make to get the soil centrifuge, which I'm about to make if I have the compound for it, which doesn't look like I do, so we're gonna have to go grab it. But it'll make it easier.
Murnery is saying that the game has gotten so much more stuff since the last time she saw it.
Yeah, they made
a big update.
This game, I mean, from if the last time they saw it was when early access started, then there's been a lot of changes. Because like I played when early access first started, and there was like, you know, you were off planet inside of an hour, and now it's like a lot more going on.
Okay. Is it still early access?
Nope. It's 1.0. Actually, we're on like 1.0.3 or something like that now. I know it's not. It is technically time, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit.
How long would it take you to feed your dog?
Well, she needs to go out too, so.
Okay.
She's fine.
Okay.
I refer to her having doggy. I call it her doggy alarm clock. That goes off to let her know that it's time to go to get food.
Ah.
That's why I call her Hunger Dog on the stream, because she often ends the stream by starting her song.
Ooh, this person's friend who plays on Xbox, his friend would host a world and he'd maybe get 10 frames per second if he's lucky.
Yikes.
And he said that they've got 200 megabit per second connection, so it's not just like bad internet, it must be something with the game. That's odd. That sucks. What was I gonna say? I forget. Do you play any Paradox interactive games?
Sort of. I've done. I did a series on surviving Mars, and which isn't a first party, but it's published by Paradox.
Yeah. I've played a little bit of that before.
I've played a bunch of Stellaris. I only did.
Stellaris is a lot of fun. Have you played any of the recent updates? They did some major like complete restructuring of the game updates again.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since they did the updates, but I've watched other people play it.
Yeah, they changed the whole population and building system. And the resources, actually. I was completely fine with the previous system, but I also enjoyed the new system. I'm honestly not sure why they changed it. It doesn't feel any better or worse than the previous system to me. Well, maybe a little bit better. But it's the new system's cool. You need to play Crusader Kings 2 sometime though, because that game's wonderful.
Those games are very intimidating to me, just because of like I've watched other people play them, and I'm like I've spent some time watching, and I still don't really understand what's happening.
I have I believe it's the top result for tutorials for Hearts of Iron 4, and I think it's like second from top result for tutorials on Crusader Kings 2. And I'd love to play either of those with you if you ever want to, or European.
Very happy you guys found me.
Although I'm not quite as good at that one.
Yeah.
Just because multiplayer on those games are really fun, and they're surprisingly easy to teach. Like, if you want the grand strategy games that are first party from Paradox, that's the easiest one to learn. By far, Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4, you could learn the basics of how to play that game in like 2 hours.
Yeah. So the way the soil centrifuge works is your little soil canister that's on your back. You put in that upper circle, and then on the controls you can choose what you want to sort of refine out of the soil. So I'm getting us some graphite right now because we don't have any.
Okay.
But
Jetstream is saying you should do a series teaching Cromulent how to play Crusader Kings 2 or Hearts of Iron 4. It's funny you bring that up, Jetstream, because I've actually been talking with Amphibian about possibly doing something like that. We could always do 3 people with that. Could be fun.
Yeah, I'd have to get a hold of the game, though. I don't have it.
It goes on sale for free, often, where you just pick it up for free and you keep it forever, and it's just the base game. Mm-hmm. However, Paradox is wonderful. You have all the DLC of the host. So if I'm hosting the multiplayer session, you have every DLC in the game because Paradox gives all of them to me for free.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's pretty wonderful. In fact, I need to go email them after this and ask for Imperator Rome because they're handing it out now, and you always have to ask. So I got to go email Troy, who I think hates me. So there's this guy called Troy. He's one of the guys that you can email about. He's one of the guys who works at Paradox. You email who sends out keys for games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and Troy's infamous for incredibly dry responses to everybody. And so everybody has given up on trying to befriend Troy in any way, except me. I will send Troy a marathon email every time where I'm talking like, this series is going really well. Thanks for sending me that DLC. Like, it's a lot of fun. We had this really wacky thing happen on Crusader Kings 2 the other day. How have you been? Like, what's going on with you? And like, I'm also like requesting this DLC. I have really big plans for it on this day. The response, a day later, I get a copy and paste response where he says absolutely nothing about my story, nothing about himself, doesn't give a fuck about me. He learned to stop giving me anything to talk about long ago because I will give him a marathon email. It's beautiful.
Well, he would like me then. I'm always very, very just straight to the point with the press people. I was like, you guys are probably busy, so I'm not going to waste your time.
Nope. Every single time I try and make conversation, I am really courteous and nice. I ask them about their day, and that is why I have made multiple friends now who are like genuine friends who happen to be press people for companies. Now, that doesn't help me anyway on a business side because they were already sending me a key, but that's not why I'm doing it. I just like making friends.
Yeah.
In fact, I might be doing a Civilization 6 stream at some point with someone who happens to be a PR person for Iceberg Interactive, just because that's how I happen to meet them.
Which games is Iceberg? I can't.
Oriental Empires.
Okay.
Which is a fantastic strategy game that is like a Chinese historical strategy game that they sent me way back before it was ever publicly released. And I hate that I've played it so little on my show because it's actually a very fun game.
Yeah.
So did you find something down there? Because I just got an achievement.
No, I don't think so. I killed a plant. I don't know if that...
I got an achievement for the soil centrifuge finishing up.
That'll do it.
Graphite. Yeah. All right, well, we have some graphite.
Yeah, it's not that useful right at this moment because we don't have it researched yet, but there is a thing called the packager that you can build with graphite that lets you turn large resources into little packages that you can put on your back. It's very helpful when you're out like wandering the wilderness and you're finding lots of those like you know when we found that size 2 wind turbine and I just had to carry it home because I couldn't put it on my back. Mm-hmm. You can use the packager to make it small enough that you can stick it on your back, kind of thing.
Thanks for following, Dennis. Welcome to the vlog. Hope you enjoyed the stream. All right, I'm coming down.
I was just continuing our tunnel.
Oh, hey, Jetstream says Oriental Empires is on sale right now on a 75% off discount. Yeah, if anyone wants to go grab it now.
Oh, I'm getting all turned around here. Got yourself a beacon so you can find your way back up?
Yeah. Yep. It only took 1 quartz, and I can just get some more quartz while I'm here. Oop, getting stuck. Need some surfer music when MDB slides down.
Oh yeah, surfing is like the sliding is super fun, especially when you get a really long tunnel going. I had a nice in order to get to the bottom of the planet though, you have to do switchbacks, or else you'll eventually do like I said, and you sort of come out on the you end up going up again if you don't do switchbacks. Yeah. And so I had developed like little half pipes on my switchback so that I could continue sliding all the way down.
Surf to the center of the planet. I'm happy that other people in the chat are also recommending Oriental Empires. That is a really fun game. It helps too that I'm just a sucker for Chinese culture, so I'm probably really biased that I really like the setting, but still. How do I know how many tethers I have left?
Wherever you have them on your thing, you can actually see them. They're like physically there. So
I'm making another one right now because I know they want. Yes. Oh, okay. I can actually see the number
so
of them. That's cool. Okay.
4, 8, 13. No, 4, 8, 12.
It's
11.
11, yeah, because 4 plus 4 plus 3. That's how I do it. That's easy to me. Is if I break into really small numbers, I can do it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do because I can see it as a line of 4, a line of 3, a line of 4, but I just can't. I'm just not good at math. So putting the numbers together was...
I guess I'm just smarter than you.
It's all right. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah. Sacerus asks, is it possible to go through the center of the planet?
There is a thing in the middle of the planet, but you can get pretty close. It takes a long time though. We're not getting there today.
What time is it right now? How the fuck is it 4 p.m.?
Yeah, I probably need to go relatively soon. My dog is tolerating it at the moment, but she's gonna start.
That's fine. We got like 2 hours from when we started actually playing.
Yep.
This game's fun. I like this game. I'd be up for doing more of this.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy this. I wonder, one of the things I wonder is, if you can join on the game that I already had going.
I would assume. From the way I joined, I kind of get the feeling that there's no difference between a multiplayer save and a single player. Kind of like Factorio.
Yeah. Here, let's find out, since we need to close up shop here anyways. Let's go save first, and then...
sure.
Just to be sure.
Well, speaking of Factorio, have you played Satisfactory?
I haven't played either Factorio or Satisfactory, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I think you'd probably like both of them. I did a few episodes recently on Satisfactory with Truth, and we're definitely going to do more because it was a lot of fun. I kind of think of it as like, what if No Man's Sky was good and it was also Factorio? It's really cool.
Yeah.
Check it. Like, just click on one of my videos if it skipped 10 minutes or 20 minutes in, and just watch like 5 minutes, and you'll know if you like it or not.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna jump back.
I mean, watch all of them in their entirety to know if you like it or not. Yeah. I'm sure you have an hour and a half to just do nothing but watch my shit.
All right, I'm quitting back to the main menu, which means you'll probably get
bumped.
Yes,
I just got bumped to the loading solar system screen.
And I'll load up my single player game, and we'll see if you can get in. I can give you a quick little tour around some of the stuff before we.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to making the thumbnails for this, just because I get to make them even more bright and colorful. Man, I was remaking a Terraria thumbnail the other day, and the game looks so gray by comparison to the one that I made.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, if you've ever messed with the saturation of something really heavily, like individual colors, and like spent like 10 minutes working on it until like the colors you want to pop really pop and it's nice, and then you just turn them off, it looks like what was previously like a colorful screenshot you took is like grayscale by comparison. It's so weird to look at.
Yeah. All right, I'm here, although I just remembered that I'm actually on the moon, and I don't have the ability to go home right now, I don't think.
It's fine. I'm loading in right now.
You can at least see the moon.
I did see the moon.
Well, you can see the moon closer up.
Okay. I've always wanted to see the moon closer up. That's why you stand in the middle of Clock Town and you wait 3 days staring at the moon as it crashes into you. It's a Majora's Mask joke.
I know.
I probably don't need to specify that, because even if you don't know much about Majora's Mask, you know the fucking moon.
Yeah, I know that. I know that bit.
Yeah, that's like the famous thing, is the terrifying moon that crashes into Clock Town in 3 days. God, that's a cool game.
Is it having trouble loading in?
Confirm. It just takes a little while, but I'm like launching off now, which I think is masking a loading screen.
Yeah. Oh, I can actually see you in the distance. That's interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, here it come.
I'm just wondering if it's going to drop you on the planet instead of where I am.
I'm on the planet.
Yep, there you go. All right. Well, I'm on the moon, and I don't really have, I don't think, the materials to make or maybe I do. Hang on, let's see.
Anything you need me to do while I'm down here?
I just need to see if I can make solid fuel thruster. I need 1 aluminum. Do I have aluminum up here?
I got a lot down here.
My fuel thruster burnt out last time I came up here, so I needed like...
I got a beach ball down here. You need me to throw that up?
The zebra block?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just start taking all of your important resources and throwing them in a pit and burying them.
All right, I don't have aluminum available, unfortunately, so I can't come back.
Look around.
I can't come back.
I don't even see where you are. I'm
Actually,
trying to look for
can
them.
I?
Oh no, I see your icon. It's really far away though.
It's on the moon.
To me, it looks like you're on a mountaintop, but I think it's the clouds doing that.
All right. Well, I can't get back because I don't know where to get aluminum quickly to up here. So.
I agree with Sasser. Someone should make a mod for this game where the moon becomes a mint. Sorry, my whole chat room has been obsessed with mints for the last month or two, because okay, you're an old PC gamer. You probably have played the King's Quest games.
Oh yeah.
I love the King's Quest games, and I Let's Play King's Quest 6 on the show because my friends had never played them, and I love those games. And I am obsessed with the line, I took a mint. And we couldn't stop making jokes about that and the undertow killing us the entire game. And so if you see in my chat now, we have an emote that's the mint from King's Quest 6, and everyone's been making I took a mint puns for months. It's incredible.
Nice.
Everything is undertow and yes, Prince Alexander, and I took a mint, and oh, it's wonderful. Then I have a button on my soundboard for my computer that's the voice clip from King's Quest V of life-giving water, nectar of the gods, of which I've been saying every time I take a drink of water on my show for like 9 years.
And only a very few number of people are getting it.
Almost no one has played that game, but most people know where it's from because they ask me a lot, and so I say all the time, King's Quest V, drinking water in the desert.
All right, well, I'm going to close up shop now because
Yes.
I can't I can't come back to you apparently.
Session.
If I had the exact access to aluminum, I could come back, but I don't.
That's fine.
Because I had just recently gotten to the moon when I closed up the last session of this, and so.
Well, this was a fun stream. Mint dry bread. I like it. I can't believe I've never seen someone do MDB in the chat, but with the M being a mint. Because the mint picture in King's Quest 6 has an M on it. The funniest fucking thing was on my Discord server where Truth, he said, Maria, as in the line that Shadow the Hedgehog says over and over, but the M is a mint. And that was the funniest thing in the world to me. Jesus, such a stupid joke. I love it.